Welcome to, language, sixth grade language. This is lesson 152. We are looking at page 236, but you also have a quiz today. And remember, that's over our adjective and adverb phrases. So in order to help you get started with that, we are going to look at a sentence up here, sentence A. We'll say B and D, or B and C for after the quiz. So first of all, we've got the Statue of Liberty stands in New York Harbor, okay? So first, what's the first thing that we need to find in any subject? Subject, or in a sentence, subject and verb, okay, there we go. So the Statue of Liberty stands in New York Harbor. So what are we talking about? The statue, right? Okay, this is a Statue of Liberty is a noun that we would consider one thing, but because we're looking at our phrases, we're going to just do statue. And then statue does what, or is there a linking verb or a helping verb? Stands, okay, very good. All right, so now we've got a couple prepositional phrases, right? Of liberty. What's the other one? In New York Harbor, okay? All right, so in some of these questions are going to ask you to circle them. Some of them you put parentheses around it. So I think in this we will circle it. And if it goes on two lines like that, just circle the one and then circle the other, okay? Most of the ones in yours, I don't think go on two lines. I think they're all single lines, but that's okay. So what of liberty describes what? Does it describe the noun or does it describe the verb? The statue of what? Of liberty, right? So this is an adjective phrase, okay? ADJ, an adjective phrase describing statue. What about in New York Harbor? What does that answer? Okay, what are our questions again? So with our adjective, we have what kind, which one, how many, how much, and whose. Okay, does that answer any of these? In New York Harbor, what kind? No. Which one? No. How many? No. How much? No. Whose? Nope. So what are our adverb questions? Where? In New York Harbor. That was the easy, right? Because it was the first one. So this is an adverb phrase, but if it doesn't answer the first one, go to the next. Where, when, how often, to what extent, okay? When you get your quiz, the first thing you should do, as we talked about, is to write down those questions, okay? Write them on a separate sheet of paper or write them on the quiz itself. As long as it's not all sloppy and big letters, as long as it's neat, I'm okay with you writing it on the quiz itself, okay? And so that's how to find your adjective phrase that describes statue, and then your adverb phrase describing stands. Okay, so what I want you to do is pause the video, take your quiz, do your best. When you come back, we'll look at page 236. All right, I hope you did well on that quiz. We're going to be looking at more of our, let's see, phrases. Okay, so on B, this boy with blonde hair is studious. Okay, so what is our subject and verb in this sentence? The boy with blonde hair is studious. So the subject is boy, right? It's not the hair. Okay, boy is our subject. What does the boy do, or what is the boy? Is studious, okay? That may have given that away. Okay, the boy is studious. So what about with blonde hair? Does it describe boy, or does it describe studious? The blonde hair, is that studious? Or is it the boy with blonde hair? So let's ask our questions, okay? What kind? Which one? Okay, the boy with blonde hair. Well, which one? The boy with blonde hair. There you go. That's an adjective phrase. Okay, ADJ. It doesn't answer where, when, how often, or to what extent. Okay. On number C, on Saturday, we went to the mall. Okay. So we've got some prepositional phrases. What is our subject and verb? We went. Okay. All right, we went. Now everything else is a prepositional phrase, right? On Saturday and to the mall. Okay. Now, we on Saturday, we to the mall, or went on Saturday, went to the mall. Let's check our questions, okay? So, what kind? On Saturday, what kind on the mall? No. Which one on Saturday to the mall? No. Well, let's stick with one of them. I'm sorry. We'll stick with just the one. How many? No, it doesn't answer. It's not numbers, right? How much? No, it's not an amount of something. Whose? It's not a person, right? So let's start with our adverb questions. Where? Does it answer where? On Saturday? When? Yeah, when, right? I just wrote the wrong one. Adverb, ADV, okay? Now, where? To the mall, okay? A lot of times, it's one of those first two questions, okay? Where and when are very common for this. But sometimes you get to it and you're like, well, it didn't answer where or when. Does it answer how? Does it answer why? Remember with a phrase, we can also answer why. Because let's see if I can find one that answers why. I'm not seeing one on this page, but that's okay. So sometimes it answers why. All right, so think C says circle each prepositional phrase, draw an arrow to the word or phrase that it modifies. In each line, on each line, write ADJ if the phrase is an adjective or ADV if the phrase is an adverb, okay? So if it's describing a noun and it answers which one, what kind, how many, how much, or whose, it's an adjective, right? If it is describing a verb or an adjective or an adverb, it's going to answer where, when, how often, to what extent, or it could be why, okay? So you're going to want to find those. So let's do the first one together. Then I'm going to let you do 2 through 7 on your own, and 8 through 15 are supposed to be homework for this lesson. So you can either do those right after you do 7, or you can save that, do write D, remember E, and then come back to that later. So however you set that up is fine. So number 1, L. Frank Baum wrote The Wizard of Oz. Okay, so we need to find our prepositional phrase, right? So what's our subject and verb? Who's it talking about? L. Frank Baum, that's the name, right? Okay. So what did L. Frank Baum do? He wrote. So you're going to, you can underline, you don't have to, but knowing that that's your subject and verb. The Wizard of Oz. Where is our preposition? of, right? So of Oz. So circle of Oz. And what does it answer? Okay, what does it go back to? So let's start with our adjective questions. Which one of Oz? No, what kind? Yeah, that one answers what kind, okay? Or, yeah, what kind would be the one that it answers, okay? What kind of wizard, right? Of Oz. Or where, I mean, where he was from, but it doesn't answer where because it goes back to wizard, and wizard is a noun, okay? So it is an adjective. So the first one you should have of Oz circled, draw the arrow to wizard, and adjective is in the blank, or ADJ is in the blank, all right? I'll let you finish that exercise on your own. Right D says, good writers avoid a monotonous style by varying the beginning of their sentences. One interesting way to begin a sentence is with an adverb or an adverb phrase. And here's the examples. Slowly the fog was settling down. Okay, and then about midnight, we reached Indian Island, okay? So those using phrases or adverbs at the beginning of a sentence help make your stories more interesting, okay? And then, so it says there on notebook paper, write 2 sentences which begin with an adverb or an adverb phrase. So do one of each, okay? Do an adverb. Most of your adverbs end in ly, so you can pick one of those, like don't do slowly because that one is in the example, and don't do about midnight, but you have all sorts of words that you could use, and just come up with 2 sentences that begin with an adverb, one with an adverb and one with an adverb phrase. And then remember E, on notebook paper, write the state of being verbs and the helping verbs and the linking verbs from memory. So in order to help you with that, we have not said our verbs in a long time. Well, yeah, it's been a while, at least since we were back in school. So if you will turn back in your book, we're going to find our verbs. I think I went back too far. Yeah, so it's unit 7, which page 114, and then it'll be 116 for the other list, okay? So we're going to say them all together. So the helping verbs there, that's helping and being verbs are in this list. So that will help you, okay? All right, so at the very top, we just go down the column. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. Okay, let's say those one more time. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. Okay, and then the linking verbs are on the next page. And again, it has your helping verbs in the list because they can be linking verbs. So we're going to say that. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Taste, feel, smell, sound, look, appear, become, seen, grow, remain, stay. Say it again. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Taste, feel, smell, sound, look, appear, become, seen, grow, remain, stay. Okay? All right, so study those and then try to write them from memory, okay? And you don't have to rewrite the being verbs 3 times. You don't have to write it once as being verbs and then once with the helping verbs and once with the linking verbs. You can write those out and then just do the helping verbs that aren't in that first list and then the linking verbs that aren't in the being verbs list, okay? So that is what you're doing today. And you are, and last Last lesson, Tuesday, I was supposed to tell you that you needed to pick a new book for your book report, and I completely spaced it when I did the video. So today I'm going to tell you, you have a book report that we're going to do. This is the very last one for the year. You may pick, I'll let you pick the book, especially since we're having, you can't, well, you're not in the school where you can't just pick one off of the shelf. So it needs to, the guidelines are the same. It needs to at least be 150 pages. It needs to be a chapter book. And then have your parents send a picture to me to let me know what book you've picked, just so I can have that in mind. You will have until, let me check, hold on. All right, sorry about that. It is due to be read by May 6th. So that is just about a week. I think it's a week before we're going to be done with lessons. And so then that book report is a long form. Follow the guidelines in your book. I'll get you those pages. But it is, okay, so let's see, it starts on 269 and then 276 are all about writing that. So it's in that last part of the book, just on that writing section. So hopefully you remember where that is, but I did just give you those pages. So, and I'll send that to your parents if they need it. So it, just follow that. It should be in there. It gives it double spaced. So when you write the final single space, it should be about a page. It might be a little more than a page, but it shouldn't be too much more than a page. So it should be 2 pages double spaced, 1 page single spaced. It could go a little bit more than that. So just make sure that you're summarizing that and not writing me the whole story, okay? But you've got a couple weeks to read that, and then you will, it's about 2.5 weeks from now to have the book read by, and then you can do the paper, and that'll be turned in either with the second to last week's work or the last week's work. So I'll put that in the, I'll have that all ready and put that on the website. Okay, so you should have taken the quiz today and do all of page 236. So I'll let you go so you can finish that. Don't forget to find a book for your book report.